G'day, I'm Pete and you're watching Feral Fabrications. Last episode we pulled this rusty old cross member out of the car behind me and then built a metal folder to actually fold up a new one. So this looks a little bit different to when you saw it last. You can see I've put a complex fold into the end. Now I'm not going to show you the whole process because it took a lot of time and you just end up watching like super sped up footage. But so the process was used a couple of bits of angle iron to do the bulk of the folding, then used some panel beating hammers to finish up the rest, and then I've just cut some profiles out with the angle grinder just to match the originals. So now we're ready to move on to the next step of this fabrication, to run a bead roll to match the original piece. So this is the original. See, we've got about a 1/2 inch round profile that runs about 1.5 inches from the end all the way up to the top. So that's what we're going to put into the original piece next. So let's jump over to the bead roller and get that underway. So here's the little bead roll machine. I got this from Machinery Warehouse in Auckland, New Zealand. But I guess it's pretty similar to what an American might call a Harbour Freight model. It's pretty entry level. I think it cost around about 250 New Zealand dollars. But for that I got quite a few different sets of dies. So you can actually see this is the one we'll want to be using today. But they got smaller profiles and step profiles as well, and an even smaller round profile there. So I need to take these step rollers off, put the round profile on, and then we will roll this piece of metal. Let's do it. So pretty simple to take the rollers off and just slide off. Oh, don't forget to undo your grub screw. Handy storage rack so you don't lose them. So they just slide on like so. And I like to have the one that's doing the impression pushing it down on top, because you can sort of line that up with your eye a bit easier than you can this one with the line on the top, because otherwise you'd be trying to look from underneath and it's sort of hard enough as it is. So trying to make it easy. Just like that. Right, I'm going to do this in stages, I think. I'm going to go 2 turns at a time.
There we go. 1, 2.
We'll run that through, see what it looks like. Start of an indent there, so we'll do another couple of turns, run it through again. 2.5. We're getting a bit more of an impression there now. I think we can go more than that though, so run it through another time. Okay, let's check that out. And there's the result. Not too shabby. I think I need to just hammer flat these ends. It's just warped it where it starts, just where it stretches the middle. So I'll just hammer that flat there, and also this end as well. Just needs to be hammered flat. Angle line screwed to the bench for an anvil. This is just a cheap set of panel beating hammers, nothing fancy. It's just a bit of a fact that bead rolling will warp your panel, and you know, a nice tidy way around that is to actually use an English wheel to stretch the metal before you roll it. Of course, don't have an English wheel, so just make and do. Sort of work the metal back into shape, really. Alright, I think we'll call that good. And we can do the final step of bending these tabs. Here we are, clamped up to fold this tab. Right, now I'm just going to start double checking the length, because the length is very important. These tabs need to weld up to the inside of the main frame rails, so I want to get those bang on. Not so critical on the bottom because that just overlaps and welds in, but these tabs have to be, you know, 1/2 millimetre probably perfect, preferably 1/4 of a mil, or bang on even would be great. So let's do some measuring. Okay. Measured that, had a really good look. I'm going to go with 788. And that's it. Fold it. So just a bit of a before and after. You can see we've got our piece bead rolled along the front here. That's the old one. Got our tabs folded and got this complex shape put onto the bottom as well. Sort of a bit munted from the rust, but so the very last thing I've got to do is just put these indents in here, here, and my plan for that is to just hammer them in. I want to make a little die up for this one because there is a slight impression. Pretty minor, to be honest. It's only like 2 mil, so I'll be making a little die up out of some pretty thin metal and then just tapping away, really. So we'll hammer those in last, but it's ready for a test fit. So that's what I'm going to do now. Take it over and just offer it up to the car. See how we go squeezing it in the gap. Hopefully it fits. Okay, let's try and get this in.
Slide it in the end. And it goes in there. Not that far. Come on. Oh, getting close. Need to top a wee bit. Move it out.
So that's definitely pretty close. Nothing, just a little bit of final fitment won't sort. Just needs squeezed up a little further up. Clamp will get that into place. And same as this side. Of course, before I put this in, I need to repair some rust on that top left there as well. Cut into that and fix that up. I also think there might be a little bit down the bottom of this one that needs patch. Now that I've got it out, I can see as well. So yeah, you can see there's a bit more cancer there. Bit easier to repair though. So they're just flat bits of steel. This is a bit more complicated. So you can see here, this is the next bit coming up to repair. Haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to go about it yet, but I'll do some head scratching and we'll see on the next one when we cut into the car even further. So we'll see you then.